Hello everyone. This is the part 2 of chapter 2 is matter around us pure. Here we'll discuss types of mixtures. Now we'll move towards types of mixtures. Okay. So we'll perform two activities to understand how many types of mixtures are there or how can we broadly classify mixtures. So depending upon the nature of the components that form a mixture, we can have different types of mixtures. Okay. What what is the nature of the constituents we can have? Depending upon this, we can have different kinds of mixture. So here is an activity in front of you. So what you have to do, you have to take 4 beakers in this activity. So the 4 beakers will be named as A, B, C and D. In the beaker A, you have to take 50 ml of water and one spatula full of copper sulfate powder. Okay, in the first beaker, what you have to take 50 ml of water and you have to put one spatula full of copper sulfate powder, which gives a blue color when it is dissolved in water. Okay, so this you need to remember that when copper sulfate gets dissolved in water, it gives a characteristic blue color. In the second beaker, you have to again fill the beaker with 50 ml of water, and here you have to add 2 spatula full of copper sulfate powder in this beaker. So in beaker A, you had put 1 spatula of copper sulfate. In the beaker B, you have to put 2 spatula full of copper sulfate. In the beaker C and D, different amount of copper sulfate and potassium permanganate or common salt and mix the given components to form a mixture. So in the beaker C and D, you can take some copper sulfate. Along with that, you have to take salt. It will be easier for you because you are familiar with salt. So you can take copper sulfate. Along with copper sulfate, you have to take salt. You can use your common salt, which is available in the kitchen. So you need to remember that in the beaker C and D, you do not need to take water. You just have to take copper sulfate powder and common salt we are taking here. Okay. Report the observations on the uniformity in color and texture. So you have to mix the components of each of the beaker, and then you have to note note your observations on the uniformity in color. How uniform or how even the color that you are getting is, or how even is the texture of the mixture. So this activity where we have taken 4 beaker, all the 4 beakers will be handled by different groups in the class because we are working in a class. So we had to divide our class into 4 groups and each group was handling these 4 beakers. Okay, so group A and B have obtained a mixture which has a uniform composition throughout. When you'll notice the beaker A and B carefully, you will get to know, you will observe that the mixture has uniform composition. Okay, the components have been mixed uniformly, hence the composition of the mixture is uniform. ठीक है, हर तरफ आप जब solution को देखोगे तो आपको एक यूनिफॉर्म कलर मिलेगा. ऐसा नहीं होगा कि यू विल गेट अ डिफरेंट ब्लू कलर एट द टॉप एंड अ डिफरेंट ब्लू कलर एट द बॉटम और अ लाइटर ब्लू शेड इन बिटवीन. ऐसा नहीं होगा. यू विल गेट द कलर विथ यूनिफॉर्म डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन. ठीक है. Such mixtures are called homogeneous mixtures or solutions. Hence, the mixtures which are uniform in their composition, they are even in their composition, are called as homogeneous mixtures, or we also call them as solutions. Some other examples of such mixtures are salt dissolved in water. Next, sugar dissolved in water. This is also an example of a homogeneous mixture where you dissolve salt in water or sugar in water. Okay. Now what you have to do, compare the color of the solutions of the two groups, of group A and B. Because in the first group you had only put 1 spatula of copper sulfate, and in the second group or the second beaker, which was beaker B, you had put 2 spatula of copper sulfate. Okay. So obviously अगर आप एक स्पून किसी में कॉपर सल्फेट डाल रहे हो उसमें थोड़ा लाइटर कलर आएगा और जो सेकंड बीकर है उसमें थोड़ा डार्क कलर आएगा क्योंकि उसमें 2 स्पैचुला आपने कॉपर सल्फेट का डाला है। तो ये तो बहुत ऑब्वियस सी बात है, राइट? दो both the groups have obtained copper sulfate solution but the intensity of color of the solutions is different. कलर दोनों का सेम आएगा, दोनों में आपने कॉपर सल्फेट डाला है वाटर के अंदर, लेकिन इंटेंसिटी जो है कलर की, ठीक है, डार्कनेस जो है वो डिफरेंट होगी क्योंकि एक में आपने एक स्पैचुला डाला है और दूसरे में 2 स्पैचुलास डाले हैं। This shows that homogeneous mixture can have a variable composition. Homogeneous mixtures में जो composition होता है वो uniform तो होता है, but homogeneous mixtures can also have variable composition. It can be a darker one or it can be a lighter one. That means concentrated भी हो सकता है या dilute भी हो सकता है। हो सकता है जो components हैं उसके अंदर copper sulfate और water के किसी में ज्यादा हो किसी में कम हो, लेकिन एक बार जब मिक्सचर बन जाता है तब उसका जो कॉम्पोजिशन होता है वो यूनिफॉर्म ही रहता है, ठीक है। देन इफ यू टॉक अबाउट beaker C and D, these groups have obtained mixtures which contain physically distinct parts and have non-uniform compositions. यहाँ पे जो मिक्सचर है उसके जो कंपोनेंट्स हैं वो फिजिकली डिस्टिंक्ट हैं, दे हैव नॉट गॉन मिक्स्ड विद ईच अदर, और उनका जो कॉम्पोजिशन है दैट इज आल्सो नॉट यूनिफॉर्म, इट इज नॉन यूनिफॉर्म कॉम्पोजिशन, ठीक है। सच मिक्सचर्स आर कॉल्ड हेट्रोजेनस मिक्सचर्स, ठीक है। फॉर एग्जांपल अगर आप क्ले लो, क्ले के अंदर अगर आप शुगर मिक्स करते हो, ठीक है, आप उसको मिक्स करो, अच्छे से स्टर कर दो यूजिंग स्पून और स्पैचुला, फिर भी आप देखोगे कहीं पे उसका कॉन्सेंट्रेशन ज्यादा है शुगर का, कहीं पे मड ज्यादा मिलेगी, कहीं पे कुछ ज्यादा मिलेगा। तो क्योंकि यहाँ पे जो कॉम्पोजिशन है वो यूनिफॉर्म नहीं हो पाता, ठीक है, इस वजह से इस मिक्सचर को हम क्या कहते हैं, हेट्रोजीनियस मिक्सचर, ठीक है। मिक्सचर्स ऑफ सोडियम क्लोराइड एंड आयरन फिलिंग्स, salt and sulfur, because they both are present in solid form, and oil and water are examples of heterogeneous mixtures. Though oil and water, they both are liquids, but still because they do not mix with each other uniformly, they are called as heterogeneous mixtures. Okay, so this was your activity 2.1 where we distributed mixtures into two categories. One is homogeneous and one is heterogeneous, and this was based on the composition of the mixture, कैसे वो उसका composition कैसा है. Okay, now we'll come to the next activity, which is your activity 2.2. Here again you have to divide your class into 4 groups and each group will take 1 beaker. So what you have to do, you have to distribute the given samples to each group. Few crystals of copper sulfate to group A, 1 spatula full of copper sulfate to group B, chalk powder or wheat flour to group C, and few drops of milk or ink to group D. So again, the class has been divided into 4 groups. To each group, you have to give different samples. First group will get few crystals of copper sulfate. Next will get 1 spatula full of copper sulfate. Third will get chalk powder or wheat flour, anything you want to choose. And fourth one will get few drops of milk or ink, whatever you want to choose. Each group should add the given sample in water and stir properly using a glass rod. So each group has to mix the component which it has got into water, okay, and stir it properly. Are the particles in the mixture visible? Okay, you have to note that whether the particles have gone mixed with the water completely or not, or are they visible? They have not mixed properly and they are still visible. Okay, so obviously when you'll observe in the first beaker or first stroke, you will observe that copper sulfate will get dissolved in the water properly and it will give a characteristic blue color. When you look at the second group, again copper sulfate is more in quantity but it will get dissolved in water properly. If you'll talk about the group C, here chalk powder, if you take an example of a chalk powder, it will not dissolve in water properly and it will give a milky or a turbid appearance to water. Okay, and if you talk about group D, here you have mixed milk in the water. Again, you will not get a uniform composition. You will observe that milk has got mixed with water, but not as much as the case of copper sulfate. Now, next step is you have to direct a beam of light from a torch through the beaker containing the mixture and observe from the front. So from one side of the beaker, you have to direct a beam of light using a torch. And from the other side, from the front side, you have to observe that whether you are able to trace the path of the light coming from the other side or not. ठीक है, वो लाइट जो है आती हुई आपको फ्रंट साइड से नजर आ रही है या नहीं, ये ऑब्जर्व करना है आपको. सो व्हाट यू विल नोटिस दैट in the case of A and B beakers or A or B groups, the beam of light will not be visible. ठीक है, beam जो है आपको visible नहीं होगी front side से, but in the case of D it will be visible. ठीक है, जब आप एक तरफ से लाइट को डायरेक्ट करोगे बीकर के ऊपर तो दूसरी तरफ से आपको आती हुई नजर आएगी. सी में क्या होगा, जब तक चॉक मिक्स रहेगी वाटर के साथ तब तक you will observe the beam of light from the mixture from the front side. लेकिन जैसे ही चॉक पाउडर सेटल होगा नीचे, अगेन जो बीम है वो इनविजिबल हो जाएगी. Next step is you have to leave the mixtures undisturbed for a few minutes and set up the filtration apparatus in the meantime. आपको वो mixtures को undisturbed छोड़ना है for some time, and in that time period you have to set a filtration apparatus where you'll filter the components of the mixture. Is the mixture stable or do the particles begin to settle after some time? So after some time you have to notice that whether the components of the mixture have got settled down at the bottom of the container, the beaker, or they are still mixed in the water. Okay, so what will happen in the first two cases, the components will remain mixed in the water, but in the third case, chalk powder will automatically settle at the bottom of the beaker and it will not remain in the water if left undisturbed for some time. And what will be the case with the milk? It will remain in the water, but its composition will not be uniform. ठीक है, मतलब proper uniform composition नहीं रहेगा. Moving further, filter the mixture. Is there any residue on the filter paper? So आपने filter apparatus आपने set किया था. Let me show you the image. ठीक है, इस तरीके से आपको you have to take a filter paper, you have to make a cone out of this filter paper and you have to fit this cone onto the funnel, and after fitting this filter paper onto the funnel you have to pass each of the solution one by one, and then you have to again note your observation, and then you have to discuss the results. So at the end what you'll get, group A and B have got a solution, group C has got a suspension, group D has got a colloidal solution. So whatever observations that we have made in this activity, we can conclude that group A and B had solutions with them, example of solutions with them. Group C had a suspension and group D had a colloidal solution. Now we shall learn about solutions, suspensions and colloidal solutions in the following sections. So as we'll read further, we'll know in detail what actually a solution, a suspension and a colloidal solution is, how they are different from each other, how their properties differ. See you soon in the next video. Thank you.